Hi, everyone. So I wanted to talk to you today about this energy of feeling stuck, this energy of feeling like, why isn't anything changing for me? Why isn't anything getting better for me? And so I want to talk to you about a few reasons why you're staying stuck and not changing the circumstances in your life. And then I'm going to talk to you about what you can do about it and how you can shift, and some other little things that are going to be coming up. So the reasons why your life is not changing, I jotted down a few things and I want to really explain to you, and you can notice where you are having these situations going on in your life that are really keeping you stuck. And like I said, and then we'll talk about how we can shift that, how you can shift that and change that. So the first thing is that you continue to do the same thing. You continue to think the same stuff. You continue to go through the same, rituals and the same patterns that you do every day. If you want to have a different day, for example, maybe consider starting your day a little bit differently than you normally do. So instead of getting up, reaching for your phone, scrolling, and letting whatever influence you, maybe instead of doing that, you could wake up, do some gratitude, relax for a minute, connect to your heart, connect to whoever and whatever is beating your heart, like that, okay? So also you're focused on the past. When you spend a lot of time focused on the past and you talk about it a lot and you're complaining about it, you're absolutely reconditioning the same things to keep happening over and over. You are letting your ego control you. So this one is huge because when we let our ego control us, our ego is not this evil thing. We don't want to demonize the evil or the ego, the ego, but we want to just notice that the ego is there to serve you and to kind of keep you safe. So the ego is not to expand you. The ego only knows what it knows from what it has been told from the past and conditioning, okay? And so the ego is not about expansive. The ego is not about growth. The ego is not about evolution. So we must acknowledge the ego and we understand that it's there, but we don't let the ego run the show, okay? You are not trusting in your intuition. So this is what takes you when you're letting go of having your ego control your life. You must really tap into your intuition, okay? Because when you are not letting your intuition be your guide, you're letting your ego be your guide. When you're not connected to that aspect of you that is your higher self, I call it the alpha goddess. But if you're not connected to that aspect of you and you're just letting the ego run the show, then you're going to continue to not see change in your life and stay stuck. You are surrounding yourself with people who, you've been around for a long time and you want to be accepted and you want them to like you. And so you do things and say things to make sure that you are part of the group and part of the crowd, and you all come together and, bitch and complain and moan about your lives and all these bad people that are doing all these things to you. And again, this keeps you very, very rooted in the past. It keeps you very stuck in a lower, dense vibration, okay? And so it's really, really hard to change your life from that space. And thank you. Thank you for the love heart shower. So now the other thing is that you're not taking time to be present in the present moment and connected to your breath. So again, a few times a day, really just bringing yourself back, having an awareness of where you are. Because if you're just on autopilot all the time and you're unaware of where you're at, it's really difficult to change the course when you don't know where you are. You can't. If you were looking at a map and you didn't know where you were, it would be very difficult to get to any specific kind of destination that you wanted to go to. You refuse to invest in yourself and get a coach or a mentor or take classes or courses. When you refuse to invest in yourself, you are telling the universe that you're not worth it, that you're a gamble. And this is a really, really big thing because, you guys, I have been investing in myself for a long time. And I remember the first really big investment that I did. And this is at a time where, I had, my son, and I was pregnant, and I was, no, we had our baby. We had our first little guy together. So I had my older son, and who at the time he was about 8 or 9, and I invested like $10,000 in a program with a mentor, and that was huge for me because I was the breadwinner of the family. My hubby had just had knee surgery, and he was going to be staying home with our new baby while I was continuing working. So we had, so many things going on. But instead of saying, okay, am I a gamble? No, I was like, this is an investment in my future. This is what's going to get me to my next level. And so I did, and I continue to invest. In fact, I'm in, a mastermind in a group right now that is, definitely a sizable investment, because I am all about evolution and growth and, growing and expanding throughout my lifetime. So you must invest in yourself, whether that's with a class or a mentor or coach, whatever. You consume a lot of information, but you never create. So this is a huge thing. When you are constantly just reading about things and consuming information, but you're not acting or coming from a place of channeling through any sort of creation that you have within you, it makes it really difficult for people to energetically calibrate with you because you're not embodied. So, for example, if I wrote a book about how to play golf, I don't play golf. Well, I can play a little bit of golf, but I'm not really that good. So, so I could write a book because I could do all the research and tell you all the stuff and give you all the information. But if I haven't picked up a golf club and really mastered the game, are you going to want to, learn about golf from me? No, probably not, right? And so people can energetically pick up on that. So it's really important for you to not just consume a bunch of information, but for you to actually embody and integrate that information and make those changes in your life. And the other thing is just being in victim consciousness. So saying things like, it is what it is. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this to me. Why does this always happen to me? Why is this happening to me? We have to look at, okay, first of all, a lot of things that are happening to us are happening for us because they're showing us what needs to be healed, what needs to be worked on, where we need to shift. And so, like, if we're constantly in relationships where we're treated really badly, whether it's a romantic relationship or friendships or with your boss, even whatever that is, you're setting those standards for yourself. And then you're not having boundaries. So boundaries are where we set, this is, as far as I go, this is the line in the sand. And then our standards are, I don't go any lower than this kind of thing, right? And so we set those standards and we take empowered sort of action in our communication, right? So we learn how to be emotionally intelligent and to communicate with people from a loving space. And this gets you out of that victim consciousness, because when something happens to you or someone does something to you, how you respond is very, very important, because that's going to dictate what happens next. If you react, then you're going to probably be receiving more of that, okay? Every abuser needs a victim. And so if we stay in victim mode, we're going to attract abusers. And I don't mean always abusive people, but just like situations where we're not in control. We're completely disempowered. So, and then the other one thing that I wanted to say about why your life is not changing is that you constantly break your word to yourself. So how many times do you say, I'm going to start this tomorrow, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, and then you don't do it. And then you beat yourself up, or you say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And then you continue to break your word to yourself. So if you can't keep your word to your own self, then how can others expect you? And again, energetically, you don't carry that my word is law and I am, you can depend on me kind of energy, people don't get that from you, okay? So, and this is a big thing for me I've had to overcome because, you know, life happens and things happen where we sometimes have to shift, and that's okay. But we are on top of it. Again, it's how we respond. So, for example, if I said I'm going to start working out on Monday and I'm going to go to the gym, but then, you know, for example, last week my son had appendicitis and went in the hospital. So I could not go to the gym, but I decided that I would, you know, not beat myself up and just, you know, do what I needed to do in that moment and then continue from that. So it's not about breaking your word because some things we can't change. But when you can't honor your word to yourself, that's a really big reason why your life is staying the same. And so Angela says, I've really firmed up on my boundaries this past week. That's awesome. I've caught the message big time. I now await greater alignment. That's amazing. So I'm really happy to hear that, Angela, because I know that you've been struggling with some things, and I have already seen growth in you. So that's amazing. So if you want to live an extraordinary life, then you have to have an extraordinary approach. So extraordinary is extraordinary, extraordinary. So not ordinary, not mediocre, not lower, but extraordinary. So you have to have an extraordinary approach on how you are going to move through your life. So for example, we take aligned action from a place of desire and pleasure rather than, well, I'm going to build my business from a place of stress and freaking out and scarcity and lack and, oh my God, I have to make this work, or I'm going to be starving on the street and I'm going to be homeless. When we're in that space, we're just really creating more of that. So it's really important to get that inner alignment down, okay? So that you can move from that place. And this is really, again, about your intuition and connecting with your intuition, not allowing your ego to run the show, but learning how to connect with your intuition and the importance of doing that. So I just want to explain. So the ego is the voice, and it's your voice. It's in your head, and it's telling you, you know, when you say, I'm going to do this, and it says, no, you can't, or this isn't going to work right away. You know, that's the ego telling you, no, don't move forward because you need to stay put. And so when you're listening to your higher self, this is where your higher self is that aspect of you that is your direct connection to Source God. And so it's always loving, it's always guidance. You feel it in your body. This is where we talk about connecting with our body. I'm a big get out of your head and get into your body person. Okay, so I teach that a lot in my work, and I teach that a lot in my healing work as well. So you're going to get out of your head and really connect with your body and tap into what feels like a yes, what feels like a no, what feels right. Understanding and practicing your intuition will change everything for you. And so I wanted to give you a little exercise that is so powerful that can help you shift and actually create new neurological pathways between your brain and your heart, okay? So that you do create a new electromagnetic signature, and it will stay. So it's like we're creating a new set point in our thermostat, in our inner thermostat. So somebody actually sent this to me the other day. They sent me a video of Greg Braden, and if any of you know him, he writes really incredible books about heart coherence. You know, if you want to know more about that, you can look him up. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks a lot about mind-heart coherence, and it's so important, okay? So when you just take a few minutes, I'm going to just tell you an exercise that you're going to do. When you do this, you're going to shift massively, because most of us spend, literally most human beings, I think it's like 89% of all human beings spend over 78% of their time in fight or flight. So when you are spending this much time in a place of stress, this becomes your natural set point. This becomes what you think is normal, because that's what you think is normal. You feel that, you're used to it, you're conditioned to it, and your nervous system is conditioned to that. And so with this exercise, we're going to help you to reset your nervous system, reset the vagus nerve, which is that group of nerves that goes from your brain and all the way down your spine. It is the biggest set of nerves. People call it the vagus nerve as if it's one, but it's actually a group, okay? And so when you can reset that vagus nerve and you can elevate your emotion, and you create a mind-heart coherence, because when you're in fight flight, the mind-heart connection is very garbled, okay? It's like there's a lot going on. Your brain is shooting out a whole bunch of chemicals and stuff in your body, like 140 different kinds of chemicals, and stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline and all these kinds of things are happening in your body. And this is why, by the way, we have so much disease. This is why we have people needing so much like antidepressants and all these sorts of things. And I am not saying that I am a doctor and you shouldn't take those things if you are on those things. I'm just saying that this is why we live in a very stressful world and we succumb to it, and then we live our lives like that. So you don't have to. Just bringing yourself into this level of awareness will change everything for you, okay? So for you, if you can just take 3.5 to 4 minutes a day, okay? 3.5 to 4 minutes. This is going to actually reset your system for about 6 hours. So if you did this 2 or 3 times a day, first thing when you wake up, maybe halfway throughout your day, and then before you go to sleep, over about 3 days, this will actually create a new neural pathway between your heart and your brain. And that is freaking amazing. And that will change your internal set point, and that in turn will change the electromagnetic signature that you are broadcasting. Because we know with the law of vibration that everything vibrates in a circular motion, and that vibration creates a frequency. And it is that frequency that we put out that connects with other matching frequencies. So we're always frequency matching. So if you can change that set point, you are going to see different things coming into your life. And so this is just one really beautiful exercise that is so powerful. So all you need to do is literally take 3.5 minutes and close your eyes, drop into your heart. And if you need to put your hand on your heart to notice your heart space, that's okay. But if you can just drop into your heart and just really have an awareness of your heart space. And for me, it feels like a swirly, tingly. I can feel it very strongly when I drop into my heart space. So you're noticing your heart space and you're feeling it there. And then I want you to just breathe very slowly. So if you can breathe for a count of 6 to 8 in, and then breathe out for a count of 6 to 8, and just kind of keep it slow and rhythmic. And then once you've got that down, then you're going to go into gratitude. So you want to go into the feeling of gratitude for about 3 minutes. And what this will do is, because gratitude is actually is a higher measurement than love. So love vibrates around 500. I think gratitude is somewhere around 700 hertz. Okay. So what you want to do is just tune in and experience the feeling of gratitude. Experience that you are safe in this moment, that you are connected to your breath, that you are safe, that you have everything you need in this very moment. And then start to feel the gratitude for that moment. Oh, hi, Johanna. Oh my God, I love you. So start to feel the gratitude in that moment and just let yourself just feel the gratitude, what you are truly grateful for in your life, your family, your children, this beautiful day, the leaves, the fact that it's raining, or the fact that it's sunny, or the fact that you have, a beautiful new client, or the fact that whatever it is, whatever lights you up, whatever you feel truly so grateful. So it's not just in your head, I'm grateful for my mom, I'm grateful for my kids. No, feel this gratitude so deep in your heart and connect with it. After about 3 minutes, you can come back and then you can go about your day. And I'm going to tell you that you have now reset your frequency for about 6 hours. And then on a chemical level or a physiological level, you have actually reset the vagus nerve and reset your nervous system. And so now your nervous system is not in fight flight. It's not there anymore. And so it might be feel a little bit weird when you first do this. Some people even feel a little bit shaky at first. But if you do, breathe into it. Just breathe into it, breathe, notice it, breathe into it, and that's it. Your breath is so powerful and so healing. It is literally the physical form of Source. I love to say that it's God in physical form, okay? Because it's incredibly healing. It is your life force. It is your breath. So just connect with your breath, and this will help you change everything. And so literally within 3 days, you're going to have a whole new energetic set point. You're going to have a whole new vibrational set point. Now, I also wanted to tell you that I've had a lot of information come to me, and I know that a lot of people are struggling right now, energetically, emotionally, lots of things going on where we're feeling stuck, which is why I did this video. But I wanted to tell you that I'm going to do a live masterclass, and it's a prosperity code. So it's just something that I wanted to share with you. It's called the Fortune Frequency, and it came to me actually earlier today. So just came to me, and so I was like, okay, I need to share this information. And so I'm going to be doing that live on a Zoom on Wednesday. So I will pop up in the chat. I'll put something for you to sign up, and you can get the information, and then you can join me on the Zoom. And if you can't make it at the time, I think I'm going to do it at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So if you can't make it at that time, that's okay. There will be a replay if you're signed up. So we'll just email it to you, and there you go. And that's also where we'll email the link for you to join and be part of that. And I would love to have you there and to have you part of that. And it's going to be amazing. So thank you so much for being here with me today. And I adore you. I love you. You are seen. You are heard. You are held. You matter so much. If you understood the importance of just you and your beingness of you and your presence on this planet and how it affects in a beautiful, positive way the rest of the planet, you would just know how worthy you are and how loved you are and how incredible you are. So I hold that in my heart for you, and I will talk to you very soon. Thank you for being here. Mwah. Have a beautiful day.